Political firestorm erupts in the Middle East after the shocking comment by the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. In a recent interview with right-wing American commentator Tucker Carlson, Huckabee said Israel has biblical right to much of the region. The comment has drawn sharp reactions from Arab and Muslim nations condemning US envoy's statement. Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation and the League of Arab States, in separate statements, called Huckabee's thought extremist, provocative, and not in line with the US position. Saudi Arabia strongly condemned the remarks by the US envoy to Israel, calling them dangerous, illegal, and a threat to regional stability, while reaffirming support for a Palestinian state. Egypt denounced the envoy's comments as a violation of international law and reiterated that Israel has no sovereignty over occupied Palestinian territories. The Palestinian Authority said the remarks contradict US policy and President Trump's opposition to annexation of the West Bank. Kuwait rejected the statements as provocative and reaffirmed its support for Palestinian self-determination and a state based on 1967 borders. Oman condemned the comments as illegitimate and warned they undermine peace and threaten regional stability. The Arab League said the envoy's remarks violate diplomatic norms and risk inflaming tensions in the Middle East. The Organisation of Islamic Cooperation condemned the comments as dangerous and warned they could encourage further escalation. Meanwhile, Israel and the United States have remained absolute mum on the comments by Mike Huckabee. The idea of Greater Israel refers to a religious or ideological concept that the land promised to the Jewish people in biblical texts extends beyond the present-day borders of Israel. Some interpretations of the biblical covenant with Abraham describe a territory stretching across parts of the modern Middle East. Under this interpretation, the historic or promised land is sometimes described as including areas that today lie within Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq, in addition to the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The concept is mainly rooted in religious and historical interpretations, rather than official government policy. Critics often use the term Greater Israel to describe perceived Israeli expansionism.
A U.S. envoy is now not sticking to his diplomatical training or lessons, but a biblical promise, while making a statement that is sending shockwaves far beyond Washington. In a podcast interview recorded in Israel, U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee told commentator Tucker Carlson that Israel has a biblical right to expansive territory in the Middle East. It would be fine if they took it all, Huckabee said, referencing Old Testament scripture describing land promised to Abraham's descendants. Carlson cited a passage outlining territory stretching from the Wadi of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates. This is an area that, in modern geography, would span much of the Levant and beyond. That could include parts of present-day Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and potentially areas of Iraq and Saudi Arabia. Huckabee responded that while he was unsure of the precise extent, it would be a big piece of land. Carlson, who has increasingly questioned U.S. support for Israel, pressed Huckabee on whether such land claims imply a present-day right. "I'm not sure it would go that far, but it would be a big piece of land. Israel is a land that God gave through Abraham to a people that he chose. It was a people, a place, and a purpose. It would be fine if they took it all." The remarks reflect interpretations often associated with segments of the U.S. Christian nationalist movement, framing Israel not just as a modern state, but as the fulfillment of a biblical covenant. The interview came during Carlson's visit to Israel, a trip that drew separate headlines after he claimed he faced bizarre treatment at Ben Gurion Airport. Israeli and U.S. officials said he underwent routine security screening. The Israeli Airports Authority stated that Carlson and his entourage were neither detained nor interrogated. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett sharply criticized Carlson's claims, calling him a phony in a post on X. Meanwhile, Huckabee defended Israeli airport security procedures, saying passport checks and questioning are routine for all travelers. The exchange underscores widening debates within American conservative politics between traditional pro-Israel voices and a growing faction questioning the depth of U.S. backing. But beyond domestic politics, Huckabee's biblical framing of territorial claims is likely to reverberate across a region already fraught with tension.